Hi, everybody. My name's Shelly, and welcome to week 2 of Biz Camp. We're so happy that you're here. I'm one of your Gold doTERRA leaders, and I'm here with Missy Crawley to talk to you today about inviting to classes. But first, how was your week 1? Tell us how you're doing. Give us some feedback. Were you able to complete your assignments? And I want to know specifically how many of you completed your vision board. We are so excited about vision boards. I've been doing them for a couple of years, and they are so helpful in kind of keeping us focused on what the goals are and how to get there. So make sure that when you create your vision board, that you put it where you're going to see it all the time. I have mine in my get ready area in the morning so that I can look at it every day before I get going. And as Missy and I were talking, you can put it in lots of different places. So copy it. You can even take a picture of it and put it on your phone, make it your screensaver. Just make sure that it's somewhere that you can see it several times a day so that it reminds you of what you're working for. So vision boards are really, really powerful. The more places, the better, right? So before we talk about the invite, I wanted to talk to you about your assignment, which is to make your 100 names list. So this list is a list of people that you know, not necessarily people you think that want to do oils, but just 100 people that you know. Sometimes when we get into this business, we think, I don't know anybody, or I don't have any friends, and I don't have a network, but you really, really do. So this is a great way for you to kind of get your mind going in the right direction. You can actually Google memory jogger on Google, and it will give you some ideas. But here's some thoughts that I have. You can think about friends, family, coworkers, teachers, doctors. Just don't prejudge. Just anybody that you know. Don't think, oh, they don't want to do oils or they do want to do oils. It's just a list of names. So write the names, and then that way when you are ready to invite, you have a good idea of at least where to start and who to start with. And you'll have a lot to choose from. So remember too that this is a living document, and as you invite people and they come to class and you get them started with oils, then you can mark their names off. Or if they say no, then you can mark them off as well. And then when you meet new people, you're at a ball game and you meet a new mom or a new coworker at work, then you add names to it. So it's a living, constantly changing document. Another thing that I wanted to talk about in terms of inviting people to class is something that comes up a lot is, do I sample or do I not sample? And so the way that we kind of address that issue is this. Sampling is wonderful and is a great way to get people using oils and getting them started. But we don't want to do it just randomly. It always wants to be very specific. We want to do it very specific to what their needs are. And two things to keep in mind. The oil either needs to work really fast, so things like past tense and deep blue or the emotion oils, those work really fast. Or they need to smell really good. So make sure that they either smell good and they get that lovely effect, or that they have a fast effect on whatever they're dealing with. Something like digestion, my goodness, so fast that you put that on your belly or you inhale it, take it internally, and you just suddenly don't have any stomach discomfort. So that's wonderful. So something like that. But frankincense, on the other hand, might take a little bit of time. We aren't seeing or feeling the changes in our cellular health. And so that may not be something that's going to work very fast. And it isn't a smell that everyone absolutely loves. So be smart about your sampling. Don't just throw things out there because it's what you want to sample. Make sure it's something that is going to meet their need or smells really, really great. So next, Missy Crawley is here with us, and she's going to talk to us about how to effectively invite to a class.
Hi, everyone. I'm excited to be here and talk to you about inviting. So there are some really good do's and don'ts when it comes to inviting, and maybe you've experienced some of those in your own lifetime. But when we invite people, we want to make sure that we invite people the same way that we always speak to them. So if it's your best friend and you text back and forth all the time, then text your best friend. That's totally fine. If it's somebody that you see at work, you're going to want to like approach them at work. You're not going to want to like text them or send them or talk to them on the phone if that's not how you normally communicate. So we want to keep it as natural as possible when we go to invite somebody. And some don'ts are you just do not want to group message anybody. So group messages by Facebook or group messages by text message. It's really frustrating when you get a group text and then everybody's responding and giving feedback to what you're inviting them to, and everybody's getting dinged about every 5 minutes. It can be very frustrating. So don't group message. It needs to be a personal message anyway. The more personal, the better, because then they feel special. And when they feel special, they're more likely to come to your event. So make it personal. Definitely, use the right way to invite them when you approach them. Okay, and don't post invites to a Facebook event as your way of inviting. It's not personable, and it's just not going to bring people to your event. You need to contact them by person. Okay, so on a scale here, when you're inviting people to one of your classes or parties, usually you get about a third of the people that will actually say that they will come. So if you're doing a class of say 5 to 8 people, which is a really good size, then you're probably going to have to invite 25 to 30 people. You can also have a couple dates that are different than the one that you're inviting to, so that if they say, oh, I'm busy that day, I really can't, then you can invite them to another date that may work better for them. So that might be a good strategy. And you may not actually have to invite 30 people if you're doing it that way. You don't want a class to be too big, because if you have 10 to 15 people at a class and it's just you and your upline, hopefully you've contacted your upline and they're going to be at your party or your class. It's just a lot of people to get to sit down and go over each of their issues and find the oils and the kits that will work best for them. And you'll end up having people leaving without you ever talking to them and helping them to get set up. So you want to have smaller classes, maybe have more classes that way, so that you can really give everybody your personal attention. So when we do a class, we want to start inviting 2 weeks prior to the class. And you can even go out 3 weeks if you'd like. And the reason why we want to do that is so that they have plenty of time to plan for it. And when we invite them that first time, we don't want it to be this long explanation like, oh my gosh, I just got started with essential oils and they do this and they do this and they do this. And you go into this big old long explanation about doTERRA and essential oils. People don't want to hear all of that. And the more mysterious you make it, the better. So make it really short and sweet. Hey, I'm having a gathering on such and such a date. Would you be able to come? And you can make it just that simple. Or you can even say, I am wondering if you're busy on Saturday at 1 o'clock, and not tell them anything else. And if they say, oh yeah, no, I'm available, say, okay, great. I am going to have a gathering or a little party or a class, however you want to word it. And we're going to be playing with some oils, and we're going to have wine, and you don't have to do wine, but that's something we like to do. You could even we're just going to have some friends over and we're going to smell some really great oils. Do you want to come? So ask them to, if they really want to come. There's this thing called a buy-in, and buy-ins are really actually very important, because when you ask them certain questions and they have to respond, they become more engaged. And when they're more engaged, they're more likely to come to your event. So at the end of your conversations, always have a question. So some examples of that would be, does this sound like fun? Would you be able to bring such and such to the event? Because if they have to bring something, they're more likely to come to your event. So engaging them in that way is a really great way to ensure that they're not just like, yeah, okay, whatever. They're actually going to listen, they're going to engage with you, and they're going to come. So after you've gotten their okay, that they're coming, then about 2 or 3 days prior to your party or your class, you're gonna want to check in with them again. And this can be an excited text message or phone call and just saying, hey, I can't wait to see you. I'm so excited you're coming. I'm gonna be buying some food and drinks, and I just wanna make sure that you're still coming, and are you bringing a friend? So that can be a very nice way of just reminding them, hey, this is coming up in a couple of days. And again, it's that buy-in question at the end. So they have to engage. You're not just saying, hey, can't wait to see you. And they don't have to respond. You want a response. So after you have that response from 2 to 3 days prior, you're going to want to also engage with them one last time on the day of. 2 to 3 hours prior to your class or party, you're going to want to send them one last message and say, hey, here's my address, just in case you didn't have it. Or I'm so excited, I have a little gift for you. So if you want to give out a little surprise gift, you can do that. You can tell them that you have something for them. And again, it's getting them excited about your little party or your class. So give them one last message prior to your class, and then they're most likely going to show up. So again, keep it really short. You don't want to give lots of explanation. Less is more. So you want the class or the party to actually teach them about the oils. That's where that is going to come into play. You don't want to give them information prior. The more mysterious, the more fun this is going to be. So keep it really, really short. Invite 2 to 3 weeks prior to your event, 2 to 3 days prior to your event again, and then one more time the day of. So I think that's going to help you guys get a lot of people to your classes or your little parties, and it's going to help be successful. Go ahead, Shelly. I think you're
all right. Well, we're going to wrap this up. That was such great information. I'm all about the wine and oils, so people seem to really enjoy that. Or you know what, even coffee. Just a coffee date is really good too. So be creative about the way that you invite people. I just think those are really fun classes. Thank you. So as we wrap it up, let's talk about what our assignments are going to be for this week. They will be posted in the group, but let me remind you that you'll have videos to watch, the Live Naturally recording, and that's also on inviting. You're going to make that list of 100 people and just be really, really open about it, and don't prejudge about whether or not they're going to be interested in oils. Then you're going to book 1 to 4 classes, and that's going to be with your upline. So make sure that you check with them and make sure that they're available during those times. And they're going to help you by teaching those classes and teach you how to teach. You're going to invite your people and then reread How to Win Friends and Influence People. The chapter 1, okay? And finally, you need to be using your oils. So get those top 10 oils out. Let's be using those. So when you teach your classes or you go to the classes that your upline is teaching, that you have your own stories. Even if it's something just simple as a headache or a bellyache, you need to have stories about how to use those top 10. You need to be a product of the product. So get used to using those oils on a regular basis. And have a great week. I hope you're enjoying this. Please comment and let us know how you're doing. And of course, comment on the post so that you can be entered into the drawings as well. Don't forget to comment on the post. That's really, really important. And we need to know that you're engaged as well. So have a great week, and we will talk to you next time.